Doing a walkthrough view here on a Saturday afternoon. Now, this project we started in January, actually. If you're following along after the Gavioni review. But anyways, we have basically the platform complete and just waiting for panels to arrive late next week. Anyways, this is an elevated platform once again, particularly because very small building site here. I mean, the actual flat area here is only 200 square meters, if that. It has a pretty respectable view, although right now much of it is hidden from our tarps, especially now that it's rainy season, doing that to keep high and dry. But that tarp has been over the swimming pool since February, because then the enemy was pure sun and concrete is not a good recipe. So anyways, we've done things a little bit early here. Well, in that it's going to get wetter, so rainier, so as much concrete work to be done in advance as possible. Here we did an exposed aggregate type of sidewalk. We just poured the other part this morning. We're looking here. I'll take a little peek. Half of this house is basically off of the platform, or the plantel itself. So this drop down here is about 14 feet. But to give you an idea of, this is the understructure. This is actually the first time we've used all steel. But cost factors and insect factors and whatnot, basically the best way to go. So we have a concrete piling going down in the ground there with the steel plate and all that tied together with the rebar, and those heavy pilings going down, and then those are sitting on a base well below the eyesight. You can see part over there. You can see we also built a seismic beam into this, so it basically what it does, it ties each of these columns together so that in an earthquake situation nothing can walk off on its own. There's another one going down this steep slope, tying this column to that column, and one going across. Now this hillside is the most subjected to risk, but that basically goes around the whole perimeter of the building, so everything's tied together. Now today we finished our braces that support our cantilever that's extending out into the jungle there, and we also did the cross bracing here that basically is tying this column to that one, to that one, to that one, and to that one down there. So this is to eliminate any dancing effect in earthquake, or I guess a heavy dance party, whatever it goes on in the house, so that it lends, especially when you get to this height, to stop any flex in the structure at all. Now we have started, well, I guess just some pointed out, here's the clean out. The septic system design in this country is horrible. There's simply no other way of describing it. But here you can see our septic line cuts right across here. There's a famous P-trap, actually 3 of them in this house, but that line sets right across, so that's a clean out there, so that if there's ever any plug up, which is highly unlikely, but just in case, it's simply a matter of removing a cap, and that line will head straight across the building over to the septic tank. So easy to fill out now, to clean out. And there's that small tube sticking up there is one of the 2 vents in the house, and that's the other big reason that you won't have sewage problems is when the system is vented properly, so that when this toilet flushes, it pushes the water going down there, pushes the air up through the ventilation system and gone, so this exit of solids is at full speed ahead. So I'm going to do a step up here just to give an idea of the whole intent here was to get an in-jungle effect from this side deck here in particular, where it's extending way out and way above us at we're 14 feet over terra firma there. So that was the tension. Well, was to have that jungle effect and also to use as little of the precious little flat space I have as possible. Now, on this floor, this is a cement board floor here with joists at 16-inch on center, so it is indeed quite solid. Dirty, not surprising in rainy season here. Now this is a wood deck for the front of home, and then the structure set up there to support a jig shot and a lapped cut going across there, so that the directions of the deck on both sides of the house are parallel with the house. And this walk we just poured a few hours ago, so it's waiting for another little scrub. Oh, here's the end of the PEX line that's heading out to, or one of the PEX lines heading out to the swimming pool. I'm going to take a pause here pretty quick so that the video is not too long, but I'll finish off with the septic system here. So here you can see that line we saw on the other side. Oh, you can see there's the kitchen one under the platform there, and that's where there's be another vent going up there through the roof as well. But that line comes straight through and ends up in the septic tank here. I'm standing on top of where the tank is going to be, and there's a ventilator for the settling tank. It flows through that settling tank and then comes into a biodigester below me, and this is where this other vent is from a biodigester. That's where all the bacterial action goes on, and it's full of river rock, actually. So, small rock, the same as what that's there to create all of those apartments for your billion friends in that tank. This type of river